welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Peyton McDaniel.
And I'm Jansen Brown. Thank you for joining us.
Lincoln Memorial University will celebrate Homecoming 2016 this week with a full slate of activities. This year's theme is Beyond Tradition. This year's festivities kick off Thursday when alumni registration opens at the Office of Alumni Services in Craigsky Hall at 3. The annual Rail Splitter 5K night run, karaoke, and ice cream social will get the weekend started on the campus quad. New building dedications will be the highlight for Friday, with the dedication of the new golf complex building at 1 p.m., followed by the new lacrosse facility dedication in the city park at 2, and the clock tower ceremony at the quad at 3. Other Friday highlights include the Diamond Grads brunch honoring the class of 1956, the Golden Grads reunion lunch honoring the class of 1966, and the Donors Ball capping off the evening at 7. Saturday highlights include the President's Breakfast at 8:30 in the Dining Hall, Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony at 10:30 in Tex Turner Arena, the reunion luncheon on the quad at noon, the Alumni Association annual board meeting, and swearing in of new officers and Gather in the Gap, featuring live music at Angelo's and Festival Park. For additional information and a full schedule of events, go to www.lmunet.edu/alumni or call the Office of Alumni Affairs.
Local nature photographer Harold Jarrell has compiled a book of his photographs that features shots he has taken over the years at Cumberland Gap National Historical Park. The book, titled Cumberland Gap, Pathway to a Land of Mist and Mystery, is on sale at the National Park Visitor Center. Bookstore manager Jacqui Payne and Jarrell talk about the project.
Jacqui Payne, Jacqui Payne, and I am the manager for the Cumberland Gap National Historical Park Bookstore and Museum Store. A local photographer, Harold Jarrell, has taken photographs for years, a lot of photographs of national parks. He has generously given them to the park to create a book that he has put together. It has all kinds of great photos of the Cumberland Gap from our Hensley settlement, fall photos of fog through the gap. So what we're going to look at, this is the Cumberland Gap, Pathway to a Land of Mist and Mystery by Harold Jarrell. So I think this is a fantastic photo guide of the park, of things you can see, things you'll want to remember about the park. Harold has done a lot of work on this. The park has done a lot of great interp to go along and tell the story of the history of Cumberland Gap, of the natural resources that we have here also. It's a fantastic little book. It retails for $10.95. This is a fantastic gift for anybody that you want to come to the area, anybody from the area, your family, your friends. Everyone needs to come to the park and pick up this book.
The book was a project that we started about 2 years ago and hoped to complete within a year, so obviously now it's taken a lot longer than we thought, but it's a book that was designed to showcase the tri-state area and in particular Cumberland Gap National Historical Park. So there will be images. We set it up based on a timeline from the Native American all the way through to art and nature that we would see in the park today. Time that I spend at Hensley Settlement is always very relaxing. It's a good place to go to get away. It's very quiet. Being able to look back at many of these old structures and see how our forefathers lived, especially in winters. Often it's extremely foggy there. Conditions that they had to make their living in would have been much more difficult, I think, than often we imagine. One of the times that I went up in January, we had a temperature of, I think it was 14 degrees when we got there at just prior to sunrise, but yet when we came up in the valley, it was 35. There was snow on the ground, so that probably made a difference with none in the valley. So again, the harsh conditions that those folks had to endure. And then as we even would have went back further to the Native American and to the earliest settlers as they moved through the gap on their way into Kentucky or the Promised Land, lands that they were searching for. A souvenir book. I visit a lot of parks across the United States, and that's one thing I always want to take back home with me. I like either a video that I can sit back in the winter maybe and enjoy, or a book that I can read about that park, especially places that I may not have had a chance to go and see.
For more information about the book and programs available at Cumberland Gap National Historical Park, go to www.nps.gov/Couga. The District Attorney 8th Judicial District Office sponsored the inaugural Sporting Clays Tournament last Friday at the Chilhowie Sportsman Club in Maryville. The tournament was a benefit event for the children's centers located within the 8th Judicial District, which includes Claiborne, Campbell, Fentress, Scott, and Union counties. According to Kathy Hennard, administrative assistant for the 8th Judicial District Office, the event raised over $25,000. The money raised came from team entry fees, private donations, a live and silent auction, and community donation and sponsorships. 160 shooters participated in the tournament, with another 50 volunteers providing support. Each year, the Children's Centers provide services and education to hundreds of children in the 8th Judicial District. District Attorney Jared Effler was host for the tournament, which he plans to make an annual event.
The LMU Wildlife Society is sponsoring a t-shirt fundraiser to raise funds for conservation projects. The Wildlife Society has a threefold mission: education, service, and fun. Projects handled by the group include a mussel release program in local rivers and streams, local 4-H judging, outreach with local Girl Scout troops, volunteering at the Harrogate City Park, sponsoring day hikes, and other environmental activities. Money raised through the sale of t-shirts will help to support future projects and conservation initiatives. T-shirts are available in a variety of sizes and styles. Short sleeve shirts are $10, long sleeve shirts are $15, and hoodies are $20. The Wildlife Society meets each Friday in the Conservation Bio Lab in the Math and Science Building. For more information, contact Maggie Singleton or Dedra Irwin. Coming up after the break, we will let you know about an annual lecture coming back to Lincoln Memorial University when we return to LMU Community TV News.
What do we know about learning? It takes place beyond the pages of a book. We learn by exploring, by trying new things, by connecting, by sharing. We learn by taking chances and dreaming big. At Lincoln Memorial University, learning is beyond the books. It's everywhere.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer. I'm a barber.
A waitress.
A mom.
We're all part of your community. Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty.
Something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
The Carter and Moyer School of Education will be presenting its annual Upholding the Constitution series lecture on October 21st. This year's lecture will feature Judge James L. Cotton, Jr. speaking on the subject of the picture of silver around the apple of gold, Abraham Lincoln's Declaration-centered constitutionalism. The event is open to all middle and high school teachers, all pre-service educators, K-12 social studies teachers, law professionals, and students and community members. Registration and breakfast begins at 8 a.m. in room 124 of the Business Education Building and includes lunch. A lecture and panel discussion are included in the free event. For more information or to register, contact Sue England at 423-869-6253 or email taiwanaengland@lmunet.edu.
With flu season upon us, Melissa Day, physician assistant professor at the DeBusk College of Osteopathic Medicine, talks about the importance of getting your flu shot this year.
It's that time of year again. It's time to get the flu shot. So the flu is a virus that is contacted through the air that we breathe in through respiratory droplets. So it causes abrupt onset of fever, chills, cough, runny nose, body aches, fatigue, and it can kill people, especially in the extremes of ages, those with medical conditions, so it's something to take seriously. And it's important for us that are healthy to get it, not only because it protects us, but it indirectly protects those that can't get the vaccine for some reason, further cutting down on the effects of the transmission. So there is this misconception that you can get the flu from the flu shot, and that's just not the case. usually what happens is it takes a little while for your body to develop immunity to it, and you'll contact that virus kind of in the midst of that, or you've already had it in you prior to that. And so people connect that to when they do get the flu. And then also, you know, you can develop a mild reaction to the vaccine that is flu-like, and so people misconceive that as being the flu also. So, you know, nothing is 100%, you know, guaranteed. If you do happen to get the flu after you get the flu vaccine, it's still worth it because the vaccine will still cut down on the severity and the duration of your symptoms. So it will lessen all of that. And then also good hygiene, covering your cough, covering your sneeze, washing your hands, wearing a mask while you're out in public will also help cut down on that. So get protected, help protect others, and get your flu shot this year.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there are a number of events taking place in the tri-state area to remind women about the importance of regular breast exams. Tuesday, Middlesboro Appalachian Regional Hospital will hold its annual tree lighting ceremony in the lobby of the hospital. Breast cancer survivors from the area will custom design ornaments for the tree. The event is sponsored by the hospital to highlight the importance of early detection. Thursday, the Middlesboro Mall will kick off its annual Paint the Mall Pink event. Festivities will begin at 6 p.m. in the mall center court. Survivors, women currently battling breast cancer, and families are invited to attend and participate. Finally, on Monday, October 10th, Servolution Ministries will sponsor a breast cancer survivors luncheon at its clinic in Speedwell. To make a reservation for the event, contact Deborah Chumley at Servolution Ministries by calling 423-418-5070.
So Adam, I heard that LMU women's volleyball team had a fantastic weekend at home.
Had a big weekend hosting Catawba and Queens. We're going to talk about that when we return here on LMU Community TV News.
Get strawberries? Okay.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back. The LMU women's volleyball team was at home this past weekend for their first Friday-Saturday conference weekend. Friday night, they hosted Catawba College to the Mary Mars Gym. While the Lady Railsplitters were fighting to stay behind Wingate for the conference lead, the Indians were looking to fight their way back to the middle of the pack. The Indians proved early on that they were not going to go away easy as they pushed LMU all night, but it was the Lady Railsplitters winning set 1 25-23 before dropping set 2 25-22 after hitting only 100 in the set. LMU hit a little better in the third set and out-attacked Catawba 43-35 to win set 3 26-24 and then used 9 Indian errors in set 4 to put away Catawba 28-26 in 3 sets to 1. Liz Brock led with 19 kills in 12 digs, while Sam Cash added 18 kills and Erica Whitaker had 19 digs. On Saturday, the Lady Rail Splitters returned to the Mars Gym to face Queens University with second place on the line in the conference. Both teams came in with only one conference loss, both losing to Wingate. The Royals were also coming off a 4-set win the night before, and in set 1 on Saturday, they were staying hot from the night before as they got outshot but used 16 kills to push LMU. The Lady Rail Splitters, however, would not break as they won set 1 25-23. Set 2 was a different story as LMU forced Queens to hit -122, and the Lady Rail Splitters took control, winning set 2 25-14, and continued their success, winning set 3 25-20 to sweep the Royals 3-0 and take sole possession of second place in the conference. Kiera Holland led LMU with 12 kills, while Abby Cash had 21 digs. The Lady Rail Splitters, now at 11-2 overall and 8-1 in conference play, will rest this week before they finish off the first half of the conference schedule this week at Lenoir-Rhyne and Brevard. The LMU men's and women's soccer teams were in Wingate, North Carolina Saturday afternoon to battle the Bulldogs of Wingate University. The women got the day started, and it was a great day for the Bulldogs as Wingate's Taylor Krakauer got the scoring started in the 19th minute, and from there the Bulldogs took off for 5 first-half goals on their way to a 7-0 rout of LMU. Kimmy Moore led Wingate with 2 goals and an assist. The Lady Rail Splitters fell to 1-7 overall and 1-4 in the SAC. The LMU men's soccer team was facing their second nationally ranked team in 3 games when they took the field against 10th-ranked Bulldogs. Wingate struck quick just 122 seconds in on a Callum Ross connected on a free kick. From there, both defenses took over, with the 2 teams only accounting for 4 shots on goal the entire 90 minutes, and LMU would fall 1-0. With the loss, LMU fell to 5-4 overall and 2-3 in conference play. We caught up with head coach Helio Diana Monday morning at his weekly press conference to get his comments from the weekend.
We'll start with the boys. That game was one of the best games I've seen SAC play recently. You know, 2 of the top teams back and forth. Huge implications for both, really, and very even everywhere. You know, I mean, shots, possession, chances to score, and it came down on games like this to 1 free kick. And we had 2 really free kicks similar, and 2 chances to score. They had 1, they put theirs in, and they win the game. So, but I think our guys played an exceptional game, especially playing there. And now we got to keep on rolling and take care of business as far as regional rankings. That really doesn't hurt that much because they're up there, number 1, 2, and we're in the bubble to make the national, so it shouldn't hurt us too much, but winning would have been great. With the women, you know, another bad day. This really was a day that we played poorly. You know, we've had games that we play well and different things, youth and just details that made the other team open the score, but that day we were poor, and to make things worse, big bug going through the roster. We had about 5 kids sick, and a red card that really doesn't help your issues. So Wingate is good enough that they saw blood, they smelled blood, and went for it. So this one we don't need to psychoanalyze. They got to put behind and move on, because it's hard to see too many positives on that one.
The LMU women's team will be back in action on Tuesday when they'll travel to Spartanburg, South Carolina to face Converse College. First kick is set for 3 p.m. and the men's soccer team will also be in non-conference action this week when they host Lees McCray on Wednesday, with the first kick set for 3 p.m. as well. LMU Sports Network will have coverage on Wednesday through LMURailSplitters.com. 8 local high school football teams were in action this past Friday, so let's take a look at scores from last week. In Tennessee, Cumberland Gap lost their 5th straight, this time to Sullivan North 35-0. It was the first time the Panthers had been shut out at home since 2014. Claiborne lost their 14th straight regional game to Jansen County 21-12. Farragut handed Campbell County their first loss of the season last Thursday 38-28. The Cougars have still never defeated the Admirals in school history. Union County got shut out on the road by Knoxville Central 58-0. The Patriots' losing streak is now at 23 games. Hancock County pulled off back-to-back shutouts for the first time in school history with their 48-0 win over Concord Christian. And Jellicoe dropped their 3rd straight contest of the season Friday when they lost to Midway 49-12. In Kentucky, Bell County fell to 7th-ranked Casey County 53-14. Rebel quarterback Brees Hayes threw for 319 yards and 3 touchdowns in the win. And Pineville lost a shootout with McCreary Central 59-36. Raiders quarterback threw for 228 passing yards, while Brandon Troxell ran for 266 yards in the win. In college football, the 11th-ranked Tennessee Vols traveled to Athens, Georgia to face the 25th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs between the hedges this past Saturday. Georgia dominated most of the game but gave up the lead to the Vols with less than 3 minutes left on a Jacob Eason fumble in the end zone. The Bulldogs would get the ball back with about a minute to go, and Eason redeemed himself with a 47-yard pass to Riley Ridley with 10 seconds left to take the lead 31-28. Now, if that wasn't good enough to be a storybook ending, the last 10 seconds was for you. After a celebration penalty on the touchdown, an offside penalty on the kickoff, and a 20-yard Evan Berry return, the Vols had the ball at the Georgia 43-yard line. With 4 seconds left, quarterback Joshua Dobbs threw the ball into the end zone. And on this day, Tennessee's prayers were answered as Juwan Jennings pulled in the Hail Mary to win the game 34-31. Tennessee moved to 5-0 with the win, and now they'll get ready to travel to College Station, Texas for a battle with unbeaten Texas A&M. The Kentucky Wildcats traveled to Tuscaloosa, Alabama for a game with top-ranked Alabama. The Wildcats scored first on a 45-yard Austin McManus field goal, but from there, Alabama took control, scoring 34 unanswered points en route to their 34-6 win. Bama quarterback Jalen Hurts finished 20 of 33 passing for 262 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kentucky will return home next week for a date with the Vanderbilt Commodores. And the Sprint Cup Series was in Dover, Delaware at the Dover International Speedway for the Citizen Soldier 400 and the final race in the round of 16 for the chase. Brad Keselowski was awarded the pole due to qualifying being rained out. Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. dominated the day, combining to lead 379 of the 400 laps, but a pit road penalty put Johnson down a lap, and Truex Jr. outran Kyle Busch to win his 4th race of the season and his 2nd of the round. Busch took 2nd, followed by Chase Elliott, Keselowski, and Matt Kenseth. Tony Stewart, Kyle Larson, Jamie McMurray, and Chris Buescher were all eliminated from the chase as the Sprint Cup moves on to the round of 12 and Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Bank of America 500 this Saturday night. Now that's all for sports, but the Entertainment Report with Joseph Lewis is up next here on LMU Community TV News.
This is why you get by on 4 hours sleep. Why you took a second job. This is why you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing and spend hours juggling the bills. This is why you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Now more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert today.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Hello, I'm Joseph Lewis, bringing you all the latest information in the world of movies. Tops at the box office this weekend were led by Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Tim Burton's big screen adaptation of the Ransom Riggs novel, taking $28 million in its debut. Reviews for the film have been largely mixed, with Burton's trademark style receiving considerably more praise than the actual storytelling, and with a production budget of over $100 million, Miss Peregrine may have a ways to go toward making a profit. Following at number 2 was the real-life disaster saga Deepwater Horizon, pulling $20 million for the 3 days, along with the best critical reception of any of this weekend's newcomers. Drawing direct inspiration from the 2010 event that led to the BP oil spill, the film has been commended for approaching the subject seriously while still functioning as an intense action picture. Director Peter Berg and leading man Mark Wahlberg previously struck box office gold with their 2013 collaboration Lone Survivor. Coming in at number 3 was last week's winner, The Magnificent Seven, the Western remake falling from its number 1 spot with $15 million for the weekend, a sizable drop in light of its $34 million starting figure. Although critics have been lukewarm on the movie, audiences have reacted quite positively, and the cast appears to be the real draw here, in particular Central star Denzel Washington, for whom The Magnificent Seven ranks as one of his biggest opening weekends. At number 4 was Storks, adding $14 million onto its now $38 million domestic gross. A family-friendly animated adventure directed by Nicholas Stoller of Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Neighbors, Storks is a strange pairing of content with talent, and even stranger is the film's plot, centered around a human child born and raised in a baby manufacturing corporation operated by the titular birds. Hijinks predictably ensue. And finishing out the top 5 was Sully, Clint Eastwood's big screen retelling of a true story of heroism, adding $8 million onto its now $105 million domestic gross. The undeniable star power of Tom Hanks, in conjunction with director Eastwood's historically positive reputation among critics and audiences alike, undoubtedly factor into the film's strong performance, which notably includes one of the largest September openings of all time. The weekend's other major newcomer, the comedy caper Mastermind, starring Zach Galifianakis, Kristen Wiig, and Owen Wilson, kicked off its run with a meager $6 million and a bevy of negative reviews, while in limited release, Disney's modestly budgeted chess-centric drama Queen of Katwe continued to do respectable business with $2.6 million. Other titles, including Don't Breathe, Bridget Jones's Baby, Snowden, and Blair Witch, have all fallen off considerably, clearing the way for this coming weekend, which brings audiences the hotly anticipated thriller The Girl on the Train, Nate Parker's controversial drama The Birth of a Nation, and the kid-oriented comedy Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life. That's all for today in the world of movies. I'm Joseph Lewis.
That is going to do it for this edition of LMU Community TV News. I'm Peyton McDaniel.
And I'm Jansen Brown. We'll be back with another edition of LMU Community TV News on Thursday.